Okay, I think I fixed it. God damn. I switched a couple of things around to have my laptop plugged in to my desktop, and I think I accidentally swapped my camera in the USB group from my desktop to my laptop. And then once I had the game running, or once I had the system running, then it wouldn't switch back. So, okay, we're back. We're back. Anyway, today we're doing something a little different. Hi, hello, welcome. Hi, welcome back. We're doing something a little bit different today. Of course, we've been playing LobCorp, and we just started Library of Ruina. But I've been itching to play Project Zomboid for a while. I've played solo for maybe like 5 minutes. Most of my experience is in multiplayer. I wanted to do a thing where I make a random character, because you can so easily min-max the skills in this game and play like you're playing a video game, or you can get really immersive with it. It's one of those really unique games that allows you to get super immersive and kind of try to live as though you were going through the zombie apocalypse. Of course, again, it's a video game, so it's got video game systems in it that would essentially make it so that you're kind of able to game the system if you know exactly what you're picking and you know exactly what to do. If you understand the systems at their root, you can choose the right skills to have like an all-around thing. But instead of doing that, instead of like min-maxing it, creating Minimus Maximus, I wanted to make a character that would just be a character, just a regular Joe Schmo, and then kind of make up a story about them as we go, keeping a couple of notes and making it so that the character kind of comes to life through emergent gameplay. That's my idea. That's what I wanted to do, and depending on how much fun I have today and whether or not you guys enjoy it, we'll maybe make this a thing that I do. But that's kind of the preamble. Now, as far as the rules go, I cannot re-roll. I get what I get. The character that I have is the character that I have. I'm not allowed to unalive the character intentionally. I'm not allowed to just go be like, oh, this is a scrubbed run, I want to roll again. No, we're not doing that. We're going to do our best to be the character. And most humans don't want to die. So we're gonna play as though we're a character who genuinely doesn't want to die, has heard things. We'll kind of set up the thing as we create our character once we've got a character like kind of in the oven, so to speak. I did pick the initial starting area as Riverside, and I thought that's going to play into the type of character that we end up playing today. So, without further ado, we are going to jump right into the randomization of the character. And this is what we have. This is the character we have. They are claustrophobic, a slow healer, they have a fast metabolism, which means they burn stuff a lot faster and they lose weight a lot faster. A slow reader, they have high thirst, their weight is low. And they were a former scout and they have wilderness knowledge. And it doesn't look like... Oh, yeah, they're a farmer. A farmer. God damn it. Okay, so let's kind of take this... Let's kind of take this one skill at a time and take a look at what we have. So claustrophobic means that the character is going to get panicked whenever they're in small indoor rooms. That just means basically a house. If they're inside the house, they freak out, which is a silly trait, but we're gonna make lemonade. We're gonna roll with it. We're gonna try. So claustrophobic. That means that they're gonna get panicked, they're gonna freak out, and it's gonna be bad news bears if I stay indoors for too long. Slow healer is actually kind of a decent trait to pick up if you're trying to min-max, because slow healer, like if you get damaged, you've already fucked up. A fast metabolism and a high thirst, this is going to be a problem. It means that I need to carry around a ton of food. My character is going to be like hungry all the time and thirsty all the time. So I'm going to need to find kind of an early bug out situation. Being a former scout and having wilderness knowledge kind of leads me to this conclusion that this character is going to be somebody who has moved from a rural area. Say they grew up in rural Kentucky, they were a scout, they spent time with their outdoorsman father or whatever, and they essentially have spent a lot of time outside in the county, and then they maybe graduated college or went to university, and then they came into town to kind of start living their life, start working 9 to 5 and getting into the rat race, if you will. But then this happens, which I think this is a really good random character to get as our base premise. I really like this a lot. So the character is also going to be randomized. Like everything about them is going to be randomized. So again, we don't get any rerolls. We're literally just going to hit the button and then we're going to start making a story. Okay. Cyril Cantu. Cyril Cantu. Okay, so see, and we're gonna keep the outfit and everything. This is very Ruroid coded. I kind of love this. I feel like Cyril is going to be a character who is kind of we're gonna hit save. We're gonna hit save, and we're gonna save it as Cyril Cantu. And I wonder if I can copy paste. Okay, save. Okay, and then we're gonna go back and actually we're gonna save this as Cyril Cantu. And this way we can always go back and kind of look at the different characters that we've had. So then we go back to next, and we've already got Cyril Cantu saved. So this is Cyril Cantu, everybody. Welcome to Cyril Cantu. We're gonna go with, because of the stats, because of the profession that he actually has, he's a farmer. He doesn't live in town. He's maybe visiting with his aunt or his uncle whenever shit hits the fan, and he has been waiting for this moment his whole life. He's so hyped for this. The second he finds out that there are zombies out in the wild, he's on his shit. He's super excited about this. Not because he just loves killing or whatever, but Cyril Cantu is going to be one of those characters who has been kind of preparing for the end of the world, and is just kind of excited for it. We've got fishing, first aid, carving. He's got kind of this really open and widespread set of abilities that make him a bit more. Let me load. There we go. This wide set of abilities that kind of makes him pretty decent for self-sufficiency. He's claustrophobic. It doesn't say anywhere in this setting that he's antisocial or anything of the sort, but I do kind of get the vibe, just from looking at him and looking at everything about him, that maybe he's a family man. He's a family. This is a family man. Cyril's a family man. That's what we're gonna go with. Cyril's a family man, and here he is in the middle of Riverside, visiting with his aunt whenever shit hits the fan, and he's got to get home to his family. So our motivation is to get back home to Cyril's family. We're starting with that motivation, and of course we're going to be spawning in Riverside, because that's just arbitrarily where I decided to spawn into. But Cyril's a farmer, and he's gonna be looking to get down towards this general area. I'm looking at the farmlands, just trying to figure out, like, where would Cyril be living? And I'm kind of thinking that, like, I've only ever been down here like one time, and I know that there's farmlands down here, but I haven't spent a lot of time down in this area of the map. So let's see if got Phallus Lake. I love that it's called Phallus Lake because it's shaped like a penis. I want to say that our motivation is going to be to get down to Ekron. And we're going to say that we've got a place out in Ekron, and Cyril's not a wealthy man. Cyril is not a wealthy man. Cyril Cantu is this outfit swap. No, we're sticking with the original. Cyril is not a wealthy man. So he lives in Ekron, and he lives with his family in Ekron in let's say a trailer. And we're gonna try to get down to Cyril's house. We're gonna try to get down there and check in on his family immediately. That's gonna be like his #1 goal, is to like hit the road and get down there as quickly as he possibly can. So, I haven't played Zomboid in a really long time. It's been like a really, really long time. But again, this is one of those things that Cyril has been like, when Cyril found out that zombies are murdering, he immediately thinks, fuck, my wife, my kids, I need to get home. And we will see what we have at our disposal, depending on where we happen to spawn in the game. But essentially, our goal here is going to be to identify what we have available, the situation, and try to move in a direction that Cyril would move in. Everything we do here, we're going to try to do with the concept of what would Cyril do. Now, again, it has been a very, very long time. We know a lot of the stuff that's changed. I like to have this over here and pretty much always open, and I do have a general idea of the basics. I think C is our crouch option, and we're able to look around. It looks like I can pause. I'm very used to playing multiplayer, and in multiplayer you cannot pause. So it's good. It's good because I'm going to need to pause. So Cyril just got off the phone with his auntie, and he found out that it's cooked. That it's just cooked. Everything is cooked. So the first thing Cyril is trying to do is he's trying to find what is here. What can he use? He's checking in the cupboards. He's checking in the it's a spoon is what he's got right now. He's checking in the cupboards, the bathroom. He's looking around here. Just some pants. His auntie is just as destitute as he is. So he's feeling like, oh shit, I have nothing. He's gonna remove the curtains like immediately. He knows he's got a long hike, because he took a bus in. So he knows he's got a long hike ahead of him. So he's going to look at creating a sling. We're gonna make a sheet sling. He's just gonna basically, this is the equivalent of taking a pillowcase and just starting to jam things into the pillowcase. So we're gonna equip wear. Yeah, we wear it, and I think that goes on like our back. And then he's gonna start just shoving foodstuffs into his bag. And he's doing this because he's kind of freaking out about the hike he's gonna have to make. He's got the general sense that society is going to be collapsing here, and he doesn't have a lot of time before he needs to just get out of here. Now, we've got literally nothing in the way of weapons or whatever. There is a police car over there, and he's going to be very cautious because he doesn't have anything in the way of defenses. but he is, while he is kind of freaking out, he does see that the officers have weapons. And Cyril, like we said, Cyril's not necessarily a, oh, we got a nightstick. One of the sheriffs. We also got a holster. We're gonna wear that. And I think he is going to put into the holster this Magnum. He's not, oh, we've got a vehicle key, a sheriff dash key. So he picks up that. Obviously, he's pretty hyped that he just found a bulletproof vest. So he's going to investigate the bulletproof vest and see that it's got holes in it. And he's like, you know what, this isn't going to work. No, he is going to want to pick up the watch because he's left all of his like, not necessarily jewelry, but important things like your watch. He actually left that back at home. He was responding because his aunt was kind of sick, and he's like, shit, I need to go into town. And he made his way into town, and after making his way into town, he saw that this is why his aunt was sick. So we kind of have this a bit of an awkward situation, right? Where he's rushed out into danger. He told his wife and his kids to stay home because he thought they would be safer there. And it turns out that now he's kind of surrounded by zombies in this hellscape. He never liked town anyway. Always preferred the outdoors. Now we want to check out. We've got the key to this cruiser. We want to get inside the cruiser. That's the wrong door. He's going to get inside this police cruiser, check the gas tank. He sees that the engine light is on and it's red. And basically the car's fucked. So he's gonna get out and see that the check engine light is on. It's not turning. So he hops on, opens up the hood, and just taking a look inside, the car is completely mangled beyond repair. Now, with the supplies he has, he knows he's not going to be able to make it. He knows he's not going to be able to make it all the way back to his family. Not with what he's currently got. So he knows he needs to get some food or find a car. So what he's doing right now is trying to find something that he can use to get him out of here. And he's wandered into this house because he saw a bunch of people with, or a couple of zombies with bags. And thinking, oh, oh, these are prisoners. Prisoners with duffel bags. So, I guess what happened here is prisoners broke out and managed to make it all the way into town. I hear something on one of the windows. Something's chewing on one of the windows. So he's gonna go out to investigate. Right now, he just wants to survive. He knows that there's no way his wife and child are gonna make it through this if he doesn't survive. So he's trying to clear the general area so that he can search for supplies to get him safely down back to home. It's a basement here in this house. And a little light switch. So when I played Project Zomboid last, there were not any basements or anything like that. Holy smokes. He comes down into this basement and boom, immediately notices there's just boxes and boxes of ammunition. And he doesn't hesitate. He immediately starts putting the boxes into his shoulder holster, or his shoulder sling. He quickly notices that his shoulder sling is full and then decides it's probably time for him to go upstairs and grab it's probably time for him to go upstairs and grab one of those duffel bags, because those duffel bags will definitely be better. So he also opens up the little closet and sees that there are long sleeve shirts, and he just equips the long sleeve shirt without any hesitation. He also sees a granola bar and some more ammo. So he knows he needs to come back down here so that he can see if he can get some more stuff. And it looks like the person who lived down here was a hunter. Something heard the glass that he accidentally smashed and ended up coming down here. Okay. Now he knows it's time for him to get in there and start searching those duffel bags. The stench is unbearable. It's completely surrounded by dead bodies at this point. But he's found a kind of rhythm. He's figured, you know, the safest thing that I can do is knock these things down and take them out one by one. But we obviously can't. We're not a superhero. Cyril knows he's not a superhero. He needs to get the fuck out of here. But one thing happens and then another thing happens, and before you know it, he's completely overrun and he's in a mess. So he's got a duffel bag now. It's just got some rags in it. He figures maybe he can use those rags as a place where he could potentially put some, or he could use the rags for something like, I know that you can use rags as a, how should I say it? Like as a, oh, shiv. There's a shiv in here. That's perfect. A rope and a sheet rope. So he knows he could use rags for sheet rope. Just having some kind of a cloth is useful in a lot of ways. So he decides to keep those. And then there's a file in here. Now, he's no stranger to his tools. He knows that there's a lot of different things he could do. But he's currently standing here feeling like he's carrying way too much stuff. So he's going to take the stuff that he's picked up and try to put that into the duffel bag. He picks out this carton of milk. He's getting super thirsty because, my goodness gracious, he is just always thirsty. And he just picks up a carton of milk and just starts chugging it. He's got half of this carton of milk just down the hatch. It's not raw and from the source like he's used to, but you know, he's no stranger to a little bit of milk right out of the carton. So he comes back downstairs. He's doing a bit of inventory right now. He's looking at his box of ammo. And he just heard a clatter upstairs. There's a patrol revolver, a Shell's bandolier, some shooting glasses, water purification tablets. And this whole time that he's doing this, that he's preparing all this stuff, he is like, my goodness gracious, this would be my kind of guy. We'd have been friends. Chewing tobacco too, perfect. Insect repellent. He's just kind of in hog heaven right now. This is like a kind of a perfect scenario. Now 357 Magnum rounds. The 44 Magnum and the 357 Magnum are different, obviously different types of ammunition. We've got a 44 Magnum, which I thought we had a 44 Magnum. Where did that go? I was pretty sure we had equipped it. No, it's not inside the holster. Okay, so we equipped the holster. Now we have to put that in the holster. And then we've got this patrol revolver. I think we're gonna take the patrol revolver as well. Because you know what? I'm not 100% sure that Cyril wouldn't. Oh, we're tense. We're on edge because we're terrified because we're in this basement. He hates it. He hates it down here. But we are getting kind of full. He looks at the guns he has. He looks at the ammo he's carrying, and he says, "I can't. 9 19mm round boxes. We can't carry all this ammo." He got his eyes got a little too big for his stomach, and he made a mistake. He's gonna open up this box of 44 Magnum rounds. Now listen. He's not a stranger to ammunition, right? Like, it's not as though he's never shot a firearm before. But he certainly is not a professional shooter. He knows very little about what you would want to have or what you would need as a professional shooter. So he is kind of on edge. He's tense. He really, really hates small and cramped spaces. So now that he's back out in the open, he takes a look at his map and he sees where he is. And he says, holy shit. He says, I need to get on the road. Now he knows that the road is he knows that the road heading south is where he needs to go. My good God. I think after doing this, after messing around here for a couple of seconds, he gets a little worried, and he thinks, I'm starting to get hungry. I need to go get ready to eat something. I don't have enough food. I'm not going to be able to make it out of here. So he doubles back to the house that he knows he just cleared out, but he forgot to check the fridge. A dead mouse. He takes the empty bowl. Can of pineapples. I think we already picked up some salt. And there's a creamically and packaged vegetables. We're going to take the creamsicle and the packaged vegetables, which are fresh and frozen. And you know what? I think we can just eat the, I think we could just eat that as it is. We're going to eat this creamsicle. And we're going to start cruising. We're going to start walking. He's at this time, he's getting thirsty. He's not in a great way, but he knows that he can't single-handedly kill all of these things. He's gotta get on the road. He's gotta start moving. It's the only way. He gets a little panicked as he's coming out, and he realizes, like, oh crap, we're carrying a little too much. He gets a little spooked, to be honest. And he kind of looks into his bag and he sees he's got food. He's got ammunition, and he's got a couple of weapons, some important maintenance tools, and then he has 2 guns. And he looks at one of his guns and just decides, you know what? I can't carry both of these around at the same time, and tosses one of them on the ground. Now he's starting to look around in a panic and starting to realize just how bad it is and just how bad it's gotten. Despite how bad it is, despite how bad it's gotten, he knows that if he starts running, he's going to be out of juice. He's going to run out of gas, metaphorically speaking. And then he won't be able to help his family. If he keels over, if he sprints, if he panics, it's going to be over. It's Jover, if you will. He does look pretty cool, calm, and collected. Cyril does look like a bit of a Chad here. Can load rounds. Now, he's no stranger to the woods, but he knows that walking around in the woods can be a bit dangerous. He's keeping his earballs open, and he's listening. He knows that this is one of the best ways that he can lose tails, that he can lose things that might be following him. But as he's cruising along here, he's starting to feel the thirst is getting to him. So he looks back into that bag of cow's milk, and he says, fuck it, and drinks the whole thing. Now he's got an empty carton, but he's in the middle of the woods, realizing that he doesn't really have a lot in the way of foodstuffs. I mean, he's got food, but he doesn't have any water, and he knows he's gonna be in trouble if he doesn't get his hands on a source of water. Now, with the wilderness survival systems in the game and his ability, like, innately, he should know how to, for example, start a fire. He's realizing that he doesn't know what's going on with the system, or with the you know what? I don't think he hasn't seen the water supply yet. He hasn't seen the fresh water, or he hasn't seen river water or anything like that yet. So I'm not so sure that he would necessarily think about it this way. He might think, like, I need to get to the nearest river, but I honestly wish I had better, like, more intimate map knowledge, because I do think in this circumstance, Cyril would know the layout of the area that we're in. This map is so big. I do think Cyril would know the layout of this map we're in. But I know that if I don't get a fresh water supply, Cyril's gonna run out of gas really quickly. So we've got water purification tablets, but one of the big issues is we don't really have containers, and we need containers to put the water in. And we also have to, you know, kind of figure out how much water are we going to... that's 4 zombies. I think Cyril's going to say nope and crouch and see if he can find another place, maybe another way to get in to this house. Right now, he doesn't want to make any noise. We've got a zombie trying to get in. A zombie that has gotten in, for sure. He's panicking. I'm panicking. Cyril, you absolute Chad. You did it. So what Cyril came in here to do was to check the fridge, check the pantry, and he's looking for any kind of any kind of a holder. Looking at this saucepan and thinking, man, it would probably be a good idea. Chrome sink, fill. So we can fill this empty carton with water. And drink. So we're drinking out of the sink and we fill the empty carton with water. That means we do have a little bit more of a buffer now, but Brentford Quills Manor. Inspect. Quills Manor is now open for Saturday tours. I don't think he would be doing this. Close curtains. We are in full-on panic mode because of this crowbar. Okay, this immediately he sees this and says, "Oh, now we're cooking." Picking up the crowbar though, he feels like, ah, shit. You know what? This is kind of heavy. I think we might want to stay on the. We're gonna have to go north. Up to the main road, Rock Ridge Road. And then we head west from Rock Ridge Road and see if we can make it to the next area over. We're going to eat half of these unpackaged, or these packaged vegetables. Just, I've done this before, like me personally, so I can easily imagine somebody picking up these packaged vegetables from the that have kind of thawed out from the freezer, but picking those up and being like, oh yeah, easy snack, let's go. I'm looking at inventory and trying to figure out what to drop. Okay, so we're just barely from that able to move again. We see a car in pretty good condition, and you know what? By God, we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna hope. Crowbar, the forever weapon. Cyril pops open the hood. Everything looks in order to him, but he's no expert. Get inside the car. There's no key. He finds bingo! Cow's milk. A small carton of wine. A big old pile of snacks. And equip that in our secondary. We check the speeding ticket. I love that so much. There's duct tape, pencil, duct tape, pen. Cyril's gonna make a mental note of this car. But he sees a zombie from down the road approaching and decides that he's gonna hop out and kill it. We've got ginger ale in a pop can, ketchup, mustard, tomato, tortilla chips, like literally everything you could want if you were about to get really stoned. So I think I think he's gonna he's he's gonna say fuck it and get on the road. But again, we're looking at a situation where we're getting hungry, or we're not getting hungry. We're getting weighed down. We feel the weight of our sins. So I think we're gonna take a look inside this. We're gonna transfer items. The duffel bag does actually reduce the amount of weight that we have whenever we have stuff inside of the duffel bag. So moving things into the duffel bag and then dropping the other thing we're carrying is a good way to kind of save space. And then we can drop this bag in a second. Okay. We're getting thirsty. Now, he's kind of gotten into the groove of, hey, if I just keep walking, it doesn't seem like any of them can really do anything. Like, he's a little bit freaked out about it, but overall, like, if we just keep walking, we should be fine, right? That is until he gets tired, but that's a problem for later Cyril. He's looking at that gas station like, oh my goodness, that would be a really good place to go. But of course, any place that would be a really good place to go would be swarming with zombies. He looks at the watch that he took off of the corpse of the cop that he killed in the beginning and sees that it's almost 9 o'clock. And that visibility is going to start to become a problem. 867 carbohydrates. We just pick up a bottle of ranch and squirt some of the ranch dressing into our tum-tums. That's what just happened. Now we still have, I think, some cow's milk. We're gonna drink a quarter of this cow's milk. The milk has to go first because it'll go bad. Cyril's at 70 kilos. And he's looking down, he's noticing his pants are pretty shredded. So maybe Cyril needs to start thinking about getting his hands on some replacement pants. He sees some dead zombies and kind of has a glimmer of hope that people are fighting back. But he's also kind of a little bit nervous because despite some people fighting back, he knows his wife is a fighter, but it's always possible that the little one could put her in a position where she's not able to make it out. He's taking a look as he's walking. He's looking inside of his bag and trying to decide, like, should I bring this? Should I bring this? Was it really a good idea to bring this? And deciding what to throw out. Picking things up, weighing them, kind of out of hand, and making a decision whether or not he wants to keep it. Can research craft recipe. Huh. Takes a look at this shiv. I wish you could examine these things while walking, because I do feel like, well, if you were gonna really get into the weeds about it, I guess that it would be something that would actually take some time to sit down and like take a look at it. Read. Contains nothing of interest. Looking at the condition of the crowbar that he's managed to loot, and just feeling a deep sense of relief that he's managed to find something that can help keep him alive. But as he's walking out of the city, he's starting to feel better. Little by little, he's kind of like taking deeper breaths and is starting to, starting to see the familiar road back home, but is also like out of the hustle and bustle of the neighborhood and feeling maybe a little bit assured. Maybe Cyril feels like, hey, he's actually got a pretty decent shot of making it back home before morning. He remembers seeing some horses in this area over here, so he wanted to check the barn and see what he could see, but it looks like most of the animals that could run have cleared out, although he did hear horses in the background. Cyril feels the thirst. Hit him again. And he takes a look at the can, or the carton rather, of milk inside the bag. And once again just kind of says screw it and starts chugging down some more of the cow's milk he's found. Well, when I played this ages ago, I feel like how should I say it, the equipment that we carried around we're actually over limit now that I'm looking at it in the inventory. So it looks like when I go into here, oh, okay, I got it. Okay, I was looking at the wrong number. Here it said 15, well, it said less than that, but it was like out of 18. So I thought my maximum carry capacity was 18, but my maximum carry capacity is 12, and the duffel bag reduces the the duffel bag reduces the amount of weight for every item that's in there. So while it says that it's carrying 15, it's getting reduced. I think it's like by 40%, which means we can just carry more stuff. Well, we were literally already wearing a green camo shirt. So we walked in and just picked up another green camo shirt. I haven't played since they changed the lighting, so I'm very curious to see what it looks like at night. Uh-oh. We're starting to get drowsy. So I'm not sure how it works exactly, because I've never played single player for long enough to need to worry about sleep. But let's see if we can. We cannot set alarm on this old watch. It's too dark to read, so we can't read our map. We don't know how long it's going to be until we reach the next domicile, the next house. So as it starts to get dark, Cyril is going to... I feel like if this was me, I would have burned myself out running already, and I'd be in trouble. But Cyril, as it's getting darker, Cyril's going to take the side road and see if he can find some place that he'll be able to shack up for the night. But we see a whole bunch of zombies. I'm squinting. I can't see shit in the mist. So Cyril is gonna crouch, sneak past the zombies, and see if he can just make it to the house. He hears the growling. You really can't see anything. We are getting chased. So we need to put on our... Where is it? Where is it? They're close. Nervous. Jerking off this window. Splattering this old lady's brains all over the kitchen, or all over the bathroom. I love the bathroom. They really have added a ton to this game. I hear somebody breathing. I don't know how I'm gonna sleep with this character. I have no idea how I'm gonna sleep. I'm pretty sure that you can't sleep. I'm pretty sure you can't sleep if you're panicked. And we're perma-panicked indoors. The Wall Street Post. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're in trouble here. It's a lug wrench, twine, wooden rod, spade. Some decent tools in here. Yeah, I don't think we can sleep. Too panicked to sleep. Rest. I don't have any beta blockers. Maybe the old lady has some beta blockers, so we can chill our we can enhance our calm and try to get to bed. All right, I don't see anything in the way of storage over here. We need drugs. I think we need drugs. So Cyril's starting to panic, realizing that he can't sleep without his sleeping meds. And he's getting more and more exhausted. I've got no idea what I should do, honestly. I think just staying indoors is not good because panic will eventually get worse and worse. But I don't know that we really have much of a choice at the moment. We're not hungry. We're gonna drink the rest of this milk. And then we can fill up the carton of milk. So we've got 2 liters of water on us. But we are just dead ass constantly panicked inside the house. Put the nightstick into the bag. Is that enough for us to not be weighed down? Okay. Now we're not overburdened right now. I don't know how to sleep without beta blockers. Like, we're exhausted. I think this is going to be a serious problem. We need beta blockers. That's for sure. Comfortable bunk beds. Too panicked to sleep. Oh. We just got spotted. Yes, I think we will hydrate. We need beta blockers. I don't know where I'm going to get the beta blockers from. I need to start raiding people's medicine cabinets. But it's really late. And Cyril's tired. We can't just kill everybody or every zombie in this neighborhood. We're getting fatigued. The negative debuffs, the debuffs that are applied, I think because we're panicked, is just insane. Where? One left wrist. Alright, so we got a digital watch now. He realized that the watch that he was wearing that he had stolen from the cop actually didn't work. and decided to equip the digital watch. He needs to get outside and see if he can shake this panicked feeling. I wonder if we could take sleeping pills to get us tired enough to fall asleep. But we're gonna crouch and see if we can make it into this house. I want to get in that car, honestly. So we're less panicked, which means I think we're able to do more damage now. But being fatigued is still, I think, screwing us. Oh. And we're fatigued now, and it's getting bad. pretty sure they're all cooked. So he sees the truck and decides to try the door. The door's locked. He tries the other door. That one's locked. So it looks like he can't get into this car. I hear a growler, but I can't see it. Oh, there it is. We are fatigued past the point of exhaustion. So right now, he starts searching people's pockets to see if he can find a key. He did find a key ring with a car key on it. So he goes over and checks it. And it is the car.
Hey.
Shit! I pressed Q. That's that in Project Zomboid. If you press Q, you just yell. So that's... It's always a bad idea to press Q. So the trunk is locked. We have fuel. This truck is in good condition. We're thirsty, so we check into our car and we drink a quarter of the fuel. A quarter of the water, not fuel. We're not drinking gasoline just yet. So we got the car to start. Okay, so he's gonna set the alarm on his watch. Set the alarm for 10 a.m. And then we're gonna see if we can actually sleep in here. I have a pillow with me. I think I picked up a pillow. How do I sleep in the car? There's sub menus. There we go. There we go. Too panicked to sleep. Wait, are we not allowed to sleep in a car either? How do we sleep? I don't know how to sleep as a claustrophobic person. I thought you'd be able to sleep if you were in a car. I didn't think that being in a car counted as... I mean, like, I get that it's kind of like being in a confined space, but come on. How the hell am I gonna sleep? Alright, shit. My god, there are so many zombies. Holy shit, and there's more up here. And we haven't gotten to sleep. No! Shit, this is really, really bad. Holy smokes. I guess they couldn't see me because it was nighttime? Inhumanly tired. I don't know how to sleep. I think I might be fucked. Cyril, please just go to sleep. I wonder if a lack of sleep causes you to drive weird. So we're panicked right now because we're in the car. I wonder if there might be a way for us to, like, trick it to let us start sleeping by driving off to a place where there aren't any zombies, getting out, getting unpanicked. We get out, we get unpanicked, and then once we get unpanicked, we get back in the car and just try to immediately go to sleep. Sleep on the ground. We can just sleep on the... If we sleep on the ground, we're cooked. There's no way that is advisable. Great, we're panicked again. I don't know how I'm gonna do this if I can't sleep. It's so bad. It's so bad, you guys. All right, we get in the car. We switch seats over to here. We go to sleep. Yes. We are still ridiculously tired, but we did get a little bit of sleep. How do I turn off this goddamn alarm? Okay. So we are still ridiculously tired. We're super hungry. Not super hungry. We're moderately hungry. We're gonna eat the rest of the packaged vegetables we had. Can't get back to sleep. Try again later. Okay, so we can't go back to sleep. Not right now. But we do have a car. I think what we're going to do is we're going to head down towards where his wife and kids would be. Where Cyril's going to head back to his family. Sleep on the ground and cross your fingers. I am trying to RP. I don't think Cyril would do that. I don't think Cyril would sleep on the ground and cross their fingers. I'm pretty sure Cyril would become desperately tired and just try to get to his wife and kids anyway. The fatigue is settling in. He's kind of swerving gently on the road. Occasionally nodding off. We found a gas station. I think this is a town. Scenic Grove. I feel like we got pretty lucky in the fact that we found a car that had a person with a key right next to it. The car is in basically perfect condition and had a bunch of gas in it. I feel like that's super, super lucky. I want to try to sleep again, but we need to find something that we can park. No, you know what? Cyril wants to go home. Cyril wants to get back home. I don't know where Cyril's home is. Me, Remy, I'm not sure where Cyril's home is, but I'm kind of letting Jesus take the wheel, and Jesus is going to lead us towards Cyril's home. Now, I was kind of just taking it. So we're on Rock Ridge Road. We've made some pretty good distance. Otter Creek Road. I think we go the other way. I guess what you would need to do in order to build, or in order to make a spot where you could actually like sleep as somebody who's claustrophobic, is you just have to make an outdoors house. Like you just have to like make your house be outdoors. Cyril is about to pass out. Is unable to maintain his speed on the road, nearly passes out, and decides to pull the car over. He takes a look around. His vision's getting narrower and narrower. Everything is getting kind of blurry. It's so difficult for him to see because he just simply hasn't slept. Fatigue, stress, anxiety, everything is just piling up. And Cyril is just a human being. So he decides to get out, take deep breaths, try to calm down for a second, and set his alarm to wake him up in 8 hours. Night driving? Not a good idea. He knows it. But he can't help it. He's cooked from surviving. We've recovered. We're not tired anymore. Stop alarm. We've done it. We slept. We successfully slept as a claustrophobic person. Okay. Now I need to figure out how to turn the lights. There we go. Headlights on. So as long as we have headlights, we should be good. Cyril wakes up. His heart's racing. He's tense. He knows he's got a job to do. He's got to make it home. Genuinely, Remy has no idea where we're going. I've got no idea. I don't think I've ever driven around this part of town before. Crossing a river. So for those of you who might be joining us or who missed the intro to the stream, we're playing a character that was created completely randomly, Cyril Cantu. And we are following motivations and asking ourselves constantly, what would Cyril do? Cyril's got a bit of a background in wilderness survival. He's a farmer. I did not choose any of this shit. I would not want to be a farmer. In the end of the world, certainly, I would not want to be doing subsistence farming. I don't think anybody would want to be at the end of the world, per se. But I certainly would not want to be doing subsistence farming in an apocalypse. It sounds horrible. But Cyril has a bit of a military experience. He's unable to really wield firearms, but he did serve. He's claustrophobic and absolutely hates the indoors. He's an outdoors boy. What can you say? Taking a look at the map. I think we're gonna take the next main road south that we can. I'm just trying to find something resembling a town. Now, I had originally had it in my head that I was going to go to Ekron, but I don't know where Ekron is. And you don't start out with the map revealed. I think it would have been kind of handy to have like a map that was pre-revealed so that I could go to Ekron. But oh, look, deer. That's really cool. I love that. It kind of makes the world feel a bit more alive. You're just driving along and there's a herd of deer running along in the field. That's so cool. We're going as fast as we can, trying to make it to Cyril's house. He nearly crashed into a rock right there. But he's gunning it. His house is coming up. We're gonna fulfill our goal, our duty to our family. Pull off the road. I feel like I wish I had more intimate or more detailed knowledge of the map of this game, because I have absolutely no idea where I am. I could be leading myself down a trail that leads to absolutely nowhere. Usually there aren't zombies in nowhere though, so I think we're going somewhere. Definitely having more detailed world map knowledge would be handy, because I thought I was going down a driveway and now I'm going down this long ass pathway that leads to maybe campgrounds? I think these are campgrounds. Okay, so the kids were at camp. That's what we're gonna go with. There's a cabin in the woods. So we said Cyril was trying to get home to his wife and kids. But instead of getting home to his wife and kids, his kids are at camp. So he's coming down to the campgrounds to see if he can find his kids. As soon as he walks indoors, he immediately starts panicking. Blair Bats. That was one of the counselors. But the kids are nowhere to be found. He realizes he's getting hungry. And decides to take a look at the fridge. Batteries. Be nice if we could get a flashlight. An old-fashioned can opener. Gonna need that for the cans. White sugar. Lard. Just take a big old bite of that out. I think we're gonna take ground beef and cook it. We check and see if there's anything else around here that we could potentially use. Matchbooks could be good for making a fire. Speeding ticket. You know, it's not really much of anything, right? I know that they have no like value per se, but I love that as just like a standard flavor mode. I think that's just fantastic. A doily? For like tea? Amazing. Empty bottle. That's great. We could store water in that. Okay. Our ground beef is cooking. We're just gonna eat a couple of burger patties. Just a ball of ground meat. We've got to eat, right? Gonna fill up our water carton. And drink. And we're getting sleepy again. Which is good because it's almost 11. We want to definitely get a good night's sleep tonight because we had a bad time yesterday. So we're probably going to eat a big ass meal. We're going to move the car into a spot where we can actually get a good night's rest, and we're going to hit the hay soon. No, I want to say, like... Uh-oh, it's burning. Okay, and then we can turn this off. Now, I want to say that, like... minus 52 hunger. Oh, we are super well fed. Full to bursting. We just ate a big old... a big old fistful of hamburger. Now, he's not what you might say a... he's not what you might say a... well-cultured individual per se, but by God, he can figure out how to feed himself. It's just he's no chef. That's Cyril. He's no chef. It is pitch black out here. We might have left the car running. Empty beer can, empty beer bottle, wrench. Oops. Made a little whoopsie goof and bumped into the wall there. I think that should be close enough. Check outside and make sure we're not about to get bit. We take a second to let the terrified feeling wear off, and we're gonna grab our watch and set an alarm for 8 o'clock in the morning. We managed to make it to our kids to our kids' camp, and unfortunately, they weren't here. We haven't seen another living soul. Cyril is starting to panic, and not just because he's outside and not because he's inside and claustrophobic, but he's starting to panic, worried about whether or not his family was able to actually make it out. He looks down at his bloody pants and decides to go inside the house and see if he can find a replacement. Looking around, one of the zombies is wearing a pair of pants that are essentially undamaged, so he decides to put those on. Wait a second. Yeah, there are holes in these jeans, so they apply no... Little fun fact. Your shit applies no benefits to you if... Interesting. It looks like that house inside that house might actually be big enough that we could sleep inside that house, inside that cabin. We'll have to take a look at it later. Too panicked to sleep. Shit. We literally we have to get inside. Get over to the other spot. Nope. Wrong button. We have to get inside, switch seats, and then immediately go to sleep. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to catch a wink. All right. We're awake. Now we need to go find our wife. That's the play. See if she came and got the kids. Hopefully, she did. She didn't, but don't tell Cyril that. We have a pretty good conditioned car, so we're genuinely we're gonna swerve a little bit to try to avoid crashing into... That's really cool and kind of terrifying. So Cyril just heard a woman scream across the forest. I wonder if you roll the windows down if it makes it so that you're not panicked. Open window. I'd be very interested to know if that reduces the panic or makes it so that you don't actually have any panic if you roll the window down. We'll see. If my panic goes down, I'm gonna be so genuinely happy. It doesn't look like it. It looks like we're just perma panicked. When I do this the next time, because I mean everybody dies in this game. When I do this next time, I think we're gonna definitely need to have a set route. All right, this is Cyril's home. We've decided this is Cyril's home. And he can already hear the things inside growling. He recognizes a couple of the neighbors. That's old man Billy Benson. Poor guy. You are seeking to way of fear and scaremongering, disappointed. I'm guessing this is the it's the TV. So Cyril takes a look inside, sees that the TV is running. Turns off the TV. He doesn't hear anything out of the ordinary. Doesn't hear the sounds of those things. Can't see any of them. His beta blockers are gone. He's thinking, maybe his wife took him, or maybe his house got looted. There's no way to be sure. Checks the fridge. It looks like they cleaned the house out before they left. Oh. I think I almost got bit there. One of them has a hand fork in their back. Taking a look around, it looks like whoever was in the house bugged out and left. That is what the word means. Cyril decides to take some of the things that he's carrying and offload them. For example, the Magnum rounds, the Magnum ammo, he's going to keep on him, but the extra Magnum rounds he doesn't need to carry around with him. The canned pineapple. Barbecue chips are his favorite, so he keeps those inside of his bag. Doesn't need this empty pop can. The insect repellent might come in handy later, but the ketchup and the marinara and the mustard he doesn't need to carry around with him. Who doesn't love a slice of processed cheese? He just rips the... It's starting to get warm. It's kind of room temperature. He rips off the package and eats it. Then puts some of the ranch on his tongue with the cheese. Some tortilla chips. I wonder if water cartons work in a similar way to water bottles. Yep, they do. So if I have a water carton bottle, or if I have a water carton in my inventory, I'll just automatically drink it. I don't have to keep on pressing it. Okay, and then we've got water purification tablets. The whetstone, I don't think we need to carry on us at all times. The rope is in a very similar boat. The poncho, it'll be good to have, just in case. So we keep that. The nightstick goes in the belt. The file we can get out of here. And then let's see what our inventory looks like. We're still pretty heavy. So this carries a maximum of 2 liters. I think what we do is we fill up this empty bottle with water, and then we keep it in the car. Oh, the cellar. We would have known that this was here, but what the actual hell? I can't see anything. Can't see shit in the mist. Oh, there's a light over here. Carpentry chisel and a wooden mallet. We might as well. We had big plans for this basement. Big plans, but it never came to fruition because the end of the world happened first. I love how three-dimensional all of the houses and the buildings seem now. It's very interesting. Looks like there's something on that. Oh, there's underwear on the bedroom. In the bedroom on the bed, rather. It's a pair of underwear that Cyril's never seen before. It's a bit strange. Putting the water bottle in the trunk. And let's see, we're still over encumbered, so we're gonna put this other water we're gonna put this other water carton inside the trunk as well. This car is now gonna be our kind of what we could call basically a base. I think we're gonna actually put the Magnum away. We took it in a bit of a panic. We were a bit afraid. But at the end of the day, we know if we do actually end up pulling that trigger, we're probably already dead. Whoops. So Cyril's back on the road again. It looks like his kids might have gotten picked up. Maybe his wife managed to get out of the house. He decides to go down to the neighbor. And see what he can see. his friend Billy Bud. There, Billy! We're just picking up carpentry by osmosis. Being in the same room as Life and Living. That's pretty funny. Now, we knew Billy Bud had some problems after the war as well. It was worth a shot trying to find... It was worth a shot trying to find out if he had any meds. But no, unfortunately. We could always check the shed, though. Oh, they just kind of materialized there. Blind spots are a bitch. I think I see a hand axe in one. I think I saw a hand axe in one of them. No, it's not a hand axe. It's a fucking letter opener. Classic. Oh no, there is a hatchet. Awesome. Those are pretty good, I think. Mechanics 1, Car Zone Repair Guide. Considering the situation we're in, he takes a look inside here and sees a funnel, a wrench, and a Cars for Dummies book, and decides it might be time for me to learn myself some cars, something or other about cars. I wonder if I'm gonna have the same problem. We're gonna eat a quarter of this patty. I wonder if I'm gonna have the same problem that I had before. And basically not be able to read a book because the panic system is making it so that I can't read the book. It looks like it looked like we had maybe gotten accosted there, like grabbed or something. I definitely panicked a little bit, but as far as I can tell, that actually didn't happen. Like, we're fine. Carpentry chisel and a claw hammer. We don't need to keep those on us. Pliers can go too. Wooden mallet. What in the hell are we carrying that's so goddamn heavy? Maybe it's this mountain of ground beef. Oh, the carton of water is a full kilo. This tarp, I did not realize that the tarp was 2 kilos. My God. All right, let's see if we're able to actually read. I think we could speed up time. Oh my goodness. Reading takes forever. I think, are we dumb? I think we're dummies. Yeah, slow reader takes longer to read. That's right. Okay. So we can't read and drive at the same time. So he sees family, friends, neighbors, loved ones, people who were at the cookout are all turned. This was his little neighborhood. He's got to check just to be sure. He's got to be sure. He's got to check all the houses and see if he can find his wife. I mean, once we actually clear out this general area, this is, you know, not in roleplay or anything, but once we clear out this general area, I think this might actually be a pretty decent place to set up like a base. Something that we could turn into a long-term bid for survival. Because we're really rural. Because it's really remote. We don't have to worry quite as much about wild zombies coming in. It would give us space to, you know, prepare carpentry and prepare a water source. Thinking about the long term, as you know, as Cyril would be starting to think about how the hell am I supposed to feed my family if everybody's dead. One does not simply go to the grocery store. My God. We're in pain. That's what that moodle is. Muscle strain. We've been swinging and swinging and swinging pretty much non-stop since we started this thing, so it would make sense. Just standing on the one zombie's chest. It's everything. It's the panic. It's the muscle strain. It's the sleepiness, and now it's the fatigue. My God. This place is a bit of a shithole. Lenny never did take good care of his yard, so why would his house be any different? Watching the Stars by Celia T. Gerald. Keyring, Rabbitfoot. Final Bite by Imogen Landry. And a box of batteries. I do think the box of batteries will serve us well in the future. We are taking batteries because if we find a flashlight, it'll allow us to do something at night instead of just hide. Measuring tape. They've added so many items, so many random items into the game. Now BMC, gritty police thriller, dead wrong. He's exhausted. He just got done beating the ever-loving beating the ever-loving unlife out of his neighbors. Cyril takes a seat outside. He's starting to see stars in his vision. He's fatigued and exhausted. The minor muscle strain is basically gone, though. That's not how that works. That's not what it does. Carving, foraging, napping, and maintenance. So we've almost got maintenance skill level 2, but we have no bonuses to weapon skill experience gains at all. And just for those of you who have never played Zomboid before, if you've never touched the game before, weapon skills like determine the amount of damage that you do, the amount of points that you put into any individual skill increases the experience that you gain for that skill, which means that with no skills in weapons, all of our weapon skills are going to level up incredibly slowly. Like, incredibly slowly. Is that a generator? I think we just found a generator, boys. How vehicle engines work. Graph paper and elbow pads. Huh. That is a generator. It's a pretty cheap looking generator, but I'm going to remember this area as a potential base spot. Right now we are kind of exhausted. We're still checking the houses of our friends and neighbors to see if we can find our wife or any sign of our wife. It's not looking good though. We've got high exertion. We're still panicked. We need to get into the car. Find a spot to actually no, I think we can stay. God damn, very tired, can barely think straight, weak with tiredness. Get rid of this mechanics book on us. Get rid of the wrench. Let's see. So we've finished we finished the carton of water already. That was fast. So we take out the other carton of water that we have. High thirst is pretty damaging to your inventory weight. We're hungry. We are gonna eat the rest of this ground beef. We're actually not hungry. I don't understand how we're not hungry, but we are tired. So we're gonna put that into here, and then we're gonna get into our car. I wonder what Cyril would call his car. It is like a stalwart companion, right? Like I think Cyril after a couple of days of driving around and having to put down his loved ones, I feel like he's going to start to grow or he's going to start to grow an affinity, a fondness, an attachment to this car. Oops. Oops. My God. His limbs feeling sluggish, his chest hurting from exhaustion. Cyril is feeling the strain. He's feeling the pressure. He's feeling the pain. The panic wears off. It's time to sleep. I didn't set an alarm. I didn't set an alarm. I don't know when he's gonna wake up. Okay, that's pretty perfect. He woke up. He slept a long time, but he was tired, so that makes sense. Oh, we woke up and immediately drank. Okay, so now another watch alarm is going off. I wonder what the radius is on that sound effect. Oh, I think it's my alarm. I'll turn it off once I'm not in combat. Okay, so we did set our alarm to still wake us up at 8 o'clock. So I guess we have an always-on alarm to wake us up at 8. That's something I've never had to deal with, is the sleep mechanics. Where else could she be? I can't be sure. Where else could she be? We can't be sure. We're gonna take a peek up here by the barns and see if we can find her. Barns? Not barns. Warehouses? We think maybe if she was going to go anywhere, she might go someplace where there's food, or someplace where she might be able to hide. But who knows? Wait a second. That figure. That nose. I think we found Cyril's wife. She's turned. It's a sad moment for Cyril. But he knows what needs to be done. Threatening letter. It's a letter from Larry saying that he's gonna blow the lid off the whole thing. That he's gonna tell me everything. One of our best friends, Larry, was porking our wife. And now they're both dead. And Cyril's gotta find a new reason to live. He can still hear the sounds of growls off in the distance. It looks like everybody tried to go up to the warehouse area and huddle up for safety. But it looks like it didn't actually work out like they wanted it to. Oh my god. There are so many zombies. Jeans baggy, dirty, no holes. Now Cyril kind of feels like, out of spite, he should live. A fleshing tool? Milk powder? A ratchet wrench? Oh, hello there. This looks like a nice little area. Fertilizer. Animal feed bag. Rat poison. Seed packets. For bell peppers. And seed packets for tomatoes. Looks like we've got seeds. We already know agriculture. Knee pads. Cheesecloth. I wonder if we could make cheese. Respirator filters and barley seed packs. Well, if we're gonna do this, we've got to prepare. It's one thing he's known since he got back from the war is how to farm. Cropping for cash. Teaches barley growing season, corn, flax, rye, soybean, sugar, tomato, and wheat growing season. We're a slow reader. Barley grows best in the summer. I feel like he should already know this. A rubber hose? I think we need that to siphon gas from cars. Hey, how's it doing? How's it going, Falgrim? Well, I'm fine. our good friend and hero of the story, Cyril, is the one who's in danger. Produce box, extra small. Are these just empty boxes of produce? I feel like Cyril's going to be a bit disappointed. I was kind of hoping that we would find some actual produce. Oh, there we go. Watermelon, fresh. Off early, so I'm good at... Nice. Did you have a decent day at work today? Interesting. So this is... It says it carries 5 tomatoes, but it doesn't actually have any produce in it. I do appreciate the fact that I actually have to like go through and click on the individual boxes, because I'm used to the mod that lets you just kind of see everything immediately. So rotten sweet potato, rotten eggplant. So it looks like, yeah, we're already starting to look at we're seeing a bunch of rotten foods out and about. I think we could take those and turn them into something in a compost bin, if we were so inclined. Yeah, kale, rotten, rotten, rotten. Just a ton of rotten vegetables. So to recap what we've seen so far, Cyril has woken up at his aunt's house by Riverside. His car was gone. His aunt was gone. There were zombies growling and scratching at the door. He immediately tried to get back to his wife and kids, but couldn't find any kind of transport. Walked a couple of miles and managed to find a little neighborhood. In the neighborhood, we got a car and drove that car off to the campgrounds where his kids were supposed to be at. Once we got there, we found that the counselors were all dead. The kids were nowhere to be found. I don't think there are any actual zombie kids in this game, so we're just gonna say, like, whereabouts unknown. We don't know where his kids are, but we did find his wife, who was cheating on him with the neighbor. We've cleared out the entire neighborhood. For the most part. And now, Cyril is trying to figure out what he's going to do now that everybody in his family, all of his friends, all of his loved ones are dead. And this is kind of the point in the game where we would start doing things to prepare for the future. We would start, you know, thinking about what we wanted to build, what we wanted to... That was a gunshot off in the distance. What we wanted to build, what we wanted to do with the spaces that we had available to us and things like that. But considering we're doing a bit of a roleplay thing, we always have to ask ourselves, what would Cyril do in this case? Cyril is kind of freaking out. Cyril is not very happy, and I think Cyril wants to go to town and have a drink. Now, he's not a complete idiot. He knows that drinking would be a bad idea right now, but he doesn't have his meds. They were taken. He went to his house. His meds weren't there. So his meds, by the way, are beta blockers, because he has claustrophobia and panics whenever he's indoors. So Cyril needs to find his meds so that he can get a good night's sleep, and that it bothers him that he hasn't been able to find his meds yet. So his backup has always been to just have a drink before going to bed, or to take some sleeping pills. So that is what we are on our way to doing. Collect seeds. Huh. Uh-oh. Like, I hear one. I do not see it, though. So that entire watermelon that I just took apart gave me one thing of seeds. That's really disappointing. I was hoping I'd get to eat. I mean, like, have you guys ever had a watermelon? You eat it and then you spit the seeds out, right? Like, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense why they would do that. So, Cyril is going to take his cartons. He's going to fill up both of his cartons of water. And he needs to go into town. It is 1:30 in the afternoon. If we go into town now, what is going to happen is by the time we get there, it's going to be maintenance. You can get maintenance skills? There's maintenance skill books? That's amazing. I've had watermelons with more seeds than melon. Yeah, but one little pack of melon seeds seems a little bit, I don't know. It seems like not enough. We're gonna close the curtains. But if we're gonna do a run into town, like a supply run, like a proper supply run, we need to have a place that we're going to store our stuff. Now, looking at this place, this little neighborhood area, this is like Cyril's old life, right? But he just found out his wife was cheating on him. His family's dead. His kid is missing, and he has absolutely no idea where he is. So maybe Cyril's kind of feeling like, you know what? This ain't it, chief. That maybe living out here in his old life would be decent, but maybe it's time to get out and live out in the middle of nowhere like he's always wanted to. So I think we're going to head up to the cabin in the woods. It is like out in the middle of nowhere, far from basically everyone and everything. We can deposit all of our goods out there, and then once we've put everything that we have that we necessarily want to keep, we can get some food in us, refill our water tanks, clear out the truck, and then we head into town for a supply run. We're gonna need to make like a short list of things that we're looking out for. I think first and foremost has to be gas. We need a gas station. Because if we don't have gas, we're not going to be able to do supply runs. Eventually, we're going to need to pick up that generator that's at the little set of farms that we were just at. And we're going to need a generator because they make electricity. And eventually, we're going to be cooked for electricity. Ooh, okay. The ragdoll physics, the new ragdoll physics on the zombies is really funny. Thunk. I love the music track in here. It really is really is one of the best games I think I've ever played. which is silly in a lot of ways because of what it is. it's this hyper realistic, ridiculous. What the actual hell is in here, and how do I get in? Disassemble the door requires a hammer and carpentry skill. I think we've got one of those hammers. We want to get inside there. But one of the coolest games I've ever played, just for the sheer number of things that you can actually do. Tool needed, door, and a handy knife, improved screwdriver, a multi-tool, or a screwdriver. Okay, so we need to keep our eyes peeled for a screwdriver. We'll need to clean this house out as well, if we're going to make this cabin the place that we end up putting ourselves. And it looks like this room is big enough that we can actually park in here. Like this house might be large enough that we don't panic every time that we're inside. Oh, now we're panicked. Okay. I think that's less than ideal. Less than ideal for sure. Batteries and box of batteries. Are we not panicked in this? This room is just big enough. I think we might have to knock a wall down in the next room over to make it okay. We're hungry. We're gonna eat this entire bag of barbecue Lays. And I'll rip these into scraps. Now, I think, like, most of the stuff that we're carrying inside this duffel needs to get put into some kind of storage. I do feel like the poncho is going to be useful at some point, but I'm really not actually carrying all that much stuff. It feels like I'm carrying way more than I actually am. I guess it's just because I'm so goddamn slow. Hydrate. Thank you. Delicious. So we've got 24 out of 125 maximum trunk space that we can carry. I feel like we might actually be good to just keep searching. Like, just go out and keep searching. But just as a matter of course, we're going to just take everything, clear our inventory, and deposit everything inside the house. It's the weight if the past dun dun dun. Oh, you mean the weight of the past. Yeah. The weight of his haunted past. I don't know. Cyril's had a pretty okay life. I think the character that I've imagined in my head has you know, been in the military, but did not spend a ridiculous amount of time, you know, how should I say, like, did not spend a ridiculous amount of time in anything like combat. Was not really in a situation that was life or death per se. So not really haunted in that way, right? We are completely overburdened, and I need to find a way to get all of this stuff sorted. Category, right? And then I just take everything that's in the food category. I guess I already did get rid of most of the things in the food category. We take everything in the food category except for the water, because we need that. And move it over to here. And then I think we've got a bunch of tools. Don't put our tools in the oven. Let's see. Tools. Just a ton of tools. And drop those all in here. I'm gonna need to figure out some kind of an organization system for this because it gets out of hand really quickly. We always keep our pillow with us so that we can sleep in the car. Chrome sink, wash all clothing. We're gonna just wash all of our clothing. You know, we don't want to walk around. We're covered in gore. We're covered in all manner of disgusting stuff. Cyril doesn't want to get an infection. He doesn't want to get ill. Now I wonder if I think having the wilderness survival trait actually makes it so that you know which mushrooms are poisonous and which mushrooms aren't poisonous, like by default. Wash all bandages. Assemble a crude knife. It's a simple metal knife using a stone blade and a small handle. Interesting. They have expanded the crafting in this game to a ridiculous degree. I'm gonna put this in here with the tools. Insect repellent, camping, the water purification tablets. I think we do need garbage bags eventually. Slap that in the tool section. Who knows? We might be about to go out and die. So that's also a thing that could just happen. We're drowsy. I wonder if we can pick up a bed and move a bed into here. There's got to be a bed somewhere around here, right? This is a bed, right? Simple bed. So there's not the crafting section, not the building section. It's this one, right? And it's to pick up. No, we want to not pick up. We want to move. Place. Press tab to change mode. I guess we pick up the bed. Requires carpentry level 2. 75% chance to break. Okay, so we need carpentry level 2 in order to do that. We did accidentally get some carpentry skill. But I don't think we're going to be able to get... I don't think we're going to be able to get anything out of that. What I want to do is I want to move this bed into this other room over here because there's less of a chance that I'll panic. But I can sleep on this couch. So let me go ahead and close the curtains on this window. I'll close the curtains on this window. There's also glass over here. Remove the broken glass. Now we're eventually going to want to board up all of this stuff. I think this is incredibly unsafe. Grab corpse. This is so neat. This is something that did not exist before. This is so neat. You could just grab the corpse, pick it up, and I'm gonna drag the corpses outside. And we're gonna need to board up the windows outside. Wow, that does fatigue you. Now eventually I'll probably drag them all into a pile and then burn them. You used to be able to pick up the corpses, but you picked them up like any item and they just went into your pocket. But now that you can pick them up and drag them and you get the full drag animation, I don't know, I just find that really fun. And we are exhausted. It's only 7 o'clock. Fortunately, I don't think sleeping on the couch is going to be great for our back. Close curtains. Got a little bookshelf here. Just literally nothing except for salt and vinegar chips and a dish towel on the bookshelf. Does that crowbar get a weight break if it's on my back? No, it does not. Put the crowbar in our back. We'll look at that later. I don't think Mechanics 1 would be what I need to be reading right now. Let me see if I can I rest? Can I sit on the green couch? I can sit on the green couch. And it's too dark to read. There's got to be a light switch somewhere around here, right? There it is. Perfect. We don't want to necessarily go to sleep right now, but we can read a little bit more of this book and take a break, and then we'll kind of sort through inventory while our character's reading and see what we can actually get rid of. How much do the rags weigh? All combined, it's almost an entire kilometer. It's almost a whole kilogram, just from that weight. And we do not need to be carrying around these 44 Magnum rounds. I picked them up so that I could bring them in and store them, but we definitely don't need to be. We definitely don't need to be carrying these things around. It's 8 o'clock. I think Cyril might call 9 o'clock bedtime today. This is super dangerous. We're about to, like, I am looking at this like, wow, this is going to be really dangerous because both of these windows are still technically wide open. Any zombie could just wander in. All of the curtains are closed, so it's less likely that something is just going to find its way inside. But it's possible that one of them just wanders inside and then we're dead. That's a thing that could happen. We're going to speed up time, go to 9 o'clock, and then probably go to sleep then. Okay. It's kind of cross it. We just kind of have to cross our fingers and hope that we don't end up getting jumped in the middle of the night by a zombie. We woke up naturally at 7. We can check our watch. And we can turn off the alarm for 8 o'clock. I accidentally took the vehicle key and put it into storage, so I'm really glad that I came back and checked that, because that would have sucked. Alright, we gotta eat something before we go out today. And we should probably have something that's not like a snack with us. Just two chicken legs. Throw those in the oven. And turn it up to 365. Just pick up a spoonful of lard and jam it into our gullets. All right, that just barely. I mean, we're not quite underweight yet, but it just barely brings us within range. Okay, now we're finally not over encumbered. I'm gonna close these curtains on the window. And I think this is gonna be our central, like, our base. This is gonna be where Cyril calls home. I think we already drank that water. Okay. So now kind of what I'm thinking is Cyril needs to needs to fix his panic issues. We've got to hit a pharmacy, a drugstore, something like that. We need to find a way to handle our panic situation. Turn off. And we've got some fresh, delicious, finger-licking good chicken. So, we eat it up, and then we're out the house. It is a misty, foggy day today. Not a good idea to go out. We're going to start the engine. We're going to turn off, or we're going to close the window, because I don't think the window being open helps with claustrophobia, which, all right, I guess. All right, I guess. We're going to check the map, because we did pass through a gas station. I'm trying to remember where exactly it was. I think they're denoted on the map in a specific way, but I cannot remember. Retail and commercial restaurants and entertainment residential parks. Some battle music right there. Had me kind of freak out. A little uncomfortable. I think we're uncomfortable because of the knee pads and the shoulder pads and shit. So we know we could drive right back into town. That's an option. I don't think the gas station is industrial. And this is kind of driving me crazy. I should have marked it on the map as we were driving by. So alternatively, we keep going south. I think we're going to come out and we're going to go down Railview Road. That's what we'll do. Our main goal is to find some kind of a gas station. Although I like, again, I wish I had more map knowledge, because like if I did have more map knowledge, I think I could better RP Cyril, because Cyril would know. He would know where the gas station is. Whereas me, I'm just like, wait, what? Where's the gas station? I'm sure there are some mods that I could put on that would be able to, you know, help to simulate that, you know, giving me a bit more map knowledge, or giving me more annotated map or whatever, but unfortunately, that's just not something that is an option right now, and I think that's because the mods are all behind. This particular build of the game, I think we're in the unstable branch. And this particular version of the game is not super up to date. I wonder if the lights would help at all. Doesn't look like it, no. We just have to kind of hope that we don't end up smashing into a zombie and doing a bunch of damage to the car. Alright, looks like we've got a little lake here. This looks like a little neighborhood. I've gotta figure out where the hell I am. It's really hard to RP a character whenever, or like a character's actions whenever I don't have the information that they would technically know. This does look like a full-fledged neighborhood, though. So we found... I've wandered into a pharmacy, essentially. Like an area that has a pharmacy. Which is, coincidentally, a place that is, you know... a place that we're actually searching for. So it might actually be within the realm of reasonable... possibility that this is where Cyril wanted to go all along. This is another one of those Jesus take the wheel things. Okay, now we need to get our old handy dandy crowbar. And we should have a pretty steady string of zombies coming in. I swear to God, I chose attach to back. Where is the crowbar? Wonderful. God. Oh, shit. God is always watching. is right there. Right there behind where we are, where we're absolutely beating the ever-loving shit out of the parishioners. I think that's I think that's really funny. And we found a fillet knife, a pair of fillet knives. It is too perfect, right? Like, I'm absolutely walloping the ever-living snot out of I'm painting the pavement with the brains with the brains of the townsfolk. Oh no! We have been injured. They knocked Cyril's hat off. And Cyril is now in pain. This is not looking good right now for Cyril. Uh-oh. We got stumbled. We're bandaging. We got scratched on our right hand and on our lower torso, but it doesn't look like we took any any serious damage. Got some minor scratches, minor scrapes. Cyril thinks to himself, maybe it's God's way of saying, you shouldn't be enjoying this, Cyril. Cyril walks over to the spot where he got attacked. Casually bends over, picks up his hat, and puts it back on. He sits down to take a breather in the parking lot and pulls out his his book on mechanics, which he's just barely able to read. Advancing time is neat. Very neat. It's not something that I'm used to. Being able to just be like, alright, I'm tired, let me sit down. Okay, now I'm gonna skip time. Okay. Tire pump, tote bag, and a sack. So I think we had our goal here is to go up to the pharmacy. We were getting chased by so many zombies that it wasn't something that we could just like drive up to the pharmacy and just immediately park and get out and get what we want. We have to lure them in and try to not necessarily thin the herd per se, but we definitely need to try to separate them into smaller chunks, because that is just too big of a group right there. This shit gets out of hand so quick. And Cyril's trying to keep his eye on the prize. Trying to keep his eye on the prize. The prize being his meds and finally a good night's sleep. Holy shit. He notices the absolute state of this town. There are so many zombies around here. There's a cluster over there that's got to be like a dozen zombies. Disappeared behind the behind the wall. I know not actually. I know some of them can still see me, but the ones that are down below can't see. Cyril's trying to get sneaky with it. We're gonna try to break line of sight. Hop over this fence after we break line of sight. Crouch down. And then maybe we'll be able to scoot back around and get back to the pharmacy having led a good 20 or so of them away. Are they still locked in on me? They look like they're still locked in. They're moving with purpose. They still look like they're locked in on me. They are still locked in. Okay. I always get screwed up whenever they're above me. Okay. I think we did actually shake most of them. Because there were way more than 4 that had followed me. So now we're going to try to slowly and carefully make our way back to the pharmacy. Hopefully be able to sneak inside and get the drugs. Get the drugs we need for Cyril to be able to have a good night's sleep. That looks like we've got more. We're suffering from sufficient panic that this is now becoming an issue. Also, like, I'm not used to not leveling up. I feel like from all of this combat and all of the zombies we've killed at this point, my weapon skill should be like level 2 or level 3. We're not even quite to level 1 yet. Maintenance skill is leveling up okay, which means that the weapons that we have last for longer, but my god, mechanically, like, as part of a video game, this is painful, and the condition of our crowbar is getting bad. I do not know what the hell is going on with my water carton. Please just move it like I asked you to. I think he just drank the whole thing. What's Cyril's body count up to at this point? We've lost 2 kilos. We've killed 113 zombies and survived for 4 days and 7 hours. He's been doing a decent job. My god. We really need to be careful. This could go bad really quickly. We're going to try to stealth in. Cyril needs some real calories. It's a corset? This is a pharmacy, isn't it? Oh my god. Close the curtains. Oh no, they definitely saw me. See if I can sneak around to the front. This must be like a private, a little private clinic. Beta blockers! Sleeping pills! Jackpot, baby! Good night's sleep, here I come. First aid 4, Gray's Anatomy of the Human Body. And the reason I didn't take that is because I genuinely feel like Cyril would look at that and be like, I'm not a doctor. Then again, Cyril might also look at it and think, I feel like he's straight up, he'd just be like, I can't make heads or tails of this. I have no idea what I'm looking at. Too heavy, I can't carry it. Alright, I think that is enough meds for a couple of days. Enough for a couple of days, at least. We are checking the sinks and everything to see if we can find any food. We are bleeding. It's cooked, y'all. It's cooked. Cyril got bit on the head. Cyril doesn't know it yet, but he's dead. Head wounds bleed a lot. He wraps his head. With his bandage nice and wrapped up, he starts to feel exhausted. I did not do this on purpose. I had no idea that thing was gonna get a bite on me as I was trying to like run away from it. Cyril comes downstairs. All he wants is a drink. It's been a rough couple of days for him. But he's a survivor, and he'll make it. He takes some painkillers. And some beta blockers. He He pops in some antibiotics as well, because of course, he just got bit by a really dirty looking zombie. And he also eats an entire granola bar. He'll make it press X to doubt. He doesn't know yet. He washes it all down with some ginger ale. It's good to be alive. He's still got some leftover chicken, and boy oh boy, has he earned it. He eats through all the rest of the chicken that's left over. He's exhausted from all of the exertion, and he's tired. The car has trouble turning over this time, but he finally gets it back in gear. He takes a peek at the map to see if he can find the location of a bar. He sees a couple of potential locations and decides to take off. All the people's houses he's checked, all the places he's searched, he hasn't been able to find a single beer. Not a bottle of whiskey, not even a flask. In Kentucky, it's a bit strange, to say the least. It's too dangerous. He's been bitten. He's bleeding. He knows if he stays out here and keeps messing around, he's gonna risk it all, and he's gonna die. He finally just got a second lease on life. He's not gonna waste it. The drugs pumping through his system, and with a sense of genuine triumph, he rides back to the place he just claimed as his own, his new home. I'm low-key relieved because I did not want to play as a farmer. But all things considered, I think Cyril did a pretty goddamn good job. This is just a story after all. A story of how our man Cyril Cantu died. Feeling genuine contempt with the pain he's going through right now. Fresh in his mind, he starts clipping, tagging, and even rolls over a zombie on his way home. He's gonna need to remind himself to clear out that driveway later. He's exhausted. It's almost 8 o'clock, but he's finally home. He lost his hat. He'll need to go back and get it. He knows the deal. He needs to clean his clothes off. Boil some water. Sterilize his bandages. And make sure that he keeps everything clean. But he's starting to wonder, did this place have a saucepan? Did we have any way to boil water here? Cologne? Is cologne disinfected? It's labeled as tainted. Tainted cologne. There are some fresh bandages in here, though. They must be sterile. They're still inside the package. He takes care of his head wound first. It immediately starts bleeding. It's nastier than he thought. He wraps it in a fresh bandage. He starts washing all of his bandages, trying to get the blood out because he needs to reuse them. He starts washing himself. He's a right mess. The pain he's in is, yeah, throbbing pain. It's hard to keep focused. I'm pretty sure the pain he's in is purely from the bite. And he gets to washing his clothing. He's got to make sure that all of his clothes are clean. It won't do to let his bandages or his to let his clothes get soaked with dirty blood and have that seep into the bandages. He could get really sick. After all that, he's nice and squeaky clean. He decides to sit down on the couch. It's been a long day after all. He pulls out his mechanics book and gets to reading. For some reason, he feels so alive and so awake, the adrenaline is just pumping through his blood. He stays up longer than he usually does. Even though exhaustion hits him, he's hit with a little bout of insomnia. Keeps reading, even though the letters are hard. He finally decides to let sleep take him. We're in full and at breaking point. You're at the limit. This can't go on for much longer. It's 10 a.m. and he wakes up with nausea. He's not feeling very good. Was the water he'd been drinking okay? Was everything safe to drink? He looks at the sink suspiciously. But he fills up his empty cartons with water anyway. It's not like he has much choice. He doesn't have a saucepan to boil it. He checks his bandages. They're all dirty again. He goes into the sink to change them. Checks the head wound. It's not looking good. It stopped bleeding, but cracked and blistered looking skin is around it, and it kind of stinks. But the cut on his stomach and the cut on his arm is completely scabbed over and looks like it's healed mostly. So it's the little things, right? He's so tired. He's gonna take some beta blockers. And some painkillers. God, it's been such a long couple of days. Wash it down with some ginger ale. Maybe that'll settle his stomach. But it doesn't. Maybe he should just put this duffel bag down. He doesn't need to carry it around while he's inside the house. And he's so tired. We'll just take another sit on the couch. Maybe reading will help. He spends pretty much the whole morning sitting on the couch, reading, his stomach completely doing somersaults, tossing and turning, just having one of the worst days of his life. His insides feel like it's kind of revolting, as if the rest of his body has kind of decided to get together and stage a rebellion. He's in pain again. So he takes some more painkillers. He's starting to get hungry. Let's see what's in the freezer. Packet of hamburger buns. He laughs to himself. He remembers just yesterday taking fistfuls of hamburger meat and throwing the frozen meat into the oven and cooking. I guess the chips will have to do. He hasn't used tobacco in years. But fuck it, he says. His tummy hurts. He gets kind of a rush in the head and then looks all around in a bit of panic. He goes back into the bigger room. For some reason, bigger rooms make him feel better. At ease, even. He sits back down on the couch, his stomach doing somersaults over and over again. He pulls out this confounded book on mechanics and starts reading again. It's 3 o'clock almost. Should he really be wasting today? He shrugged. What can you do? He's exhausted. He's spent so much time in pain over the last couple of days. Fighting and sweating and running. He's earned a little rest. He finally finishes the mechanics book. But his head starts pounding. It hurts like a son of a gun. He goes back into the bathroom to check his bandages. The bite just will not heal. It seems like it's festering, little bits of green around it. He washes the rag, bandages his head again, goes back into the other room to check the duffel bag for more painkillers. He takes some antibiotics as well, because it would be silly not to. The wound looks nasty. He takes the beta blockers. His last portion for the day. As his panic starts to subside. Checks out the painkillers and takes some painkillers. Takes a look at the sleeping pills, puts them back, and then pulls them back out and takes another look at the package. He pops one out, puts it into his hand, and considers taking it before going to bed tonight. He's completely stressed out. It's like no matter what he does, his mind won't rest. He's hungry again. He really should have gotten more food. He's looking at the bag of white sugar like it might not be a bad idea to take a couple spoonfuls. Maybe he'll toast one of those hamburger buns. Maybe put some lard on it. cake batter. I guess I'd have to make a sandwich first. He throws some of the hamburger buns, the frozen buns, into the oven and starts toasting them. His stomach is still doing somersaults. And his head's pounding again. I wonder if these can just burn. Oh, here we go. They've got a green bar next to them. It looks like their nutrition is increasing as they get cooked, but they're not actually getting any benefit from it, it looks like. He takes one of the plain hamburger buns and bites into it, shaking his head in disappointment. Might as well take a peek around and see if he can find something else to read. He drops the crowbar on the ground. He's just so tired. He takes out an issue of the Kentucky Observer, July 1988. All of a sudden, he really seems to enjoy reading. He takes off the knee pads and the elbow pads. The military camo shirt. He's starting to feel hot and uncomfortable. He takes off the holster, the shooting glasses, and the Shell's bandolier, and looks at the pile of equipment and just shakes his head. What am I, Rambo? I never even saw any action. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. Tosses the nightstick on the floor next to the small knife. Keeps him close by so he can sit down and read in peace. His head is absolutely pounding, but he can't seem to get any sleep. His chest hurts as he's sitting here. Heart rate increasing. He's trying his best to relax, but no matter what he does, he can't seem to get any rest. He just can't seem to relax. Not at all. More painkillers. More beta blockers. He looks at the cans of empty ginger ale and pulls up a carton of water. He sits down on the chair. He's not tired, not even a little bit. But he closes his eyes and tries to sleep anyway. He wakes up in the middle of the night in excruciating pain again. He takes some painkillers and the sleeping pill. He's sad. He looks back on his life, shakes his head. Maybe doing some PT would help if his stomach would only stop spinning. Let's do some push-ups. Maybe that'll get me tired. He finally gets a little bit tired. But he's been eyeing the bottle of antidepressants in his bag for a while. He's heard it takes weeks for them to kick in, but at this point he's willing to try anything. Spending the last 2 days in this cabin has him going stir crazy, but his head will not stop pounding. He's in so much pain. So he goes back to sleep. The nausea has gotten worse and worse. His head's pounding. He's getting stomach cramps now. He woke up, his jaw hurts. He was clenching in his sleep. He hasn't done that in a very, very long time. He eats another hamburger bun for breakfast. Barely able to choke it down. Putting a little bit of butter on top. In reality, I just right-clicked on the butter and ate a half of a stick of it. I don't think I can spread it on the buns. Not until I make a sandwich. He takes the bandage off of his head. The bite is still very clear, very stark. He wraps it in a fresh bandage, cleans the old one. Gets some water. And now he's in a cycle. Antidepressants. Beta blockers. Painkillers. Chips. He remembers he had a can of peaches. Not peaches. Pineapples? Maybe they're in the car. He looks at the Magnum and walks away really quickly back into the house. Something, anything. There has to be something that can help him in this house. He feels 100% ill at this point. He decides to say fuck it and pulls out his spoon from his back pocket, takes a couple of spoonfuls of sugar and eats them. Maybe that'll make him feel better. Takes out the canned pineapples. Where's the can opener? He left the oven on. Did he leave the oven on? It's like the last couple of days have been a complete and total haze. It's having a hard time remembering anything. He's grinding his teeth at this point. Why can't I find my can opener? He goes back to his duffel bag and checks it. That's where I put it. These old-fashioned can openers sure are a pain in the ass to get the can open, but after jiggering it for a while, he finally gets it open. He decides to try to make a salad. He puts the hamburger bun in, chops it up, adds some olive oil. The tomatoes are getting a little bit stale, but he likes them extra ripe anyway. He adds some mustard as a seasoning. And he eats it. Every bite. The beta blockers are wearing off. His nausea is kicking into overdrive. Doesn't seem to matter that he's eating. It just keeps getting worse and worse. He says, maybe if I go to sleep, maybe if I just go to sleep, it'll go away. The pain will go away and I'll be able to feel better in the morning. And then he looks at his watch and realizes that it is morning. It's 9 o'clock and he's getting ready to go back to sleep. He's already taken the pills. It's not like he can do anything in this condition anyway. So he lays back down and goes to sleep. But he wakes up in only an hour. He's got muscle pain and the dirty bandage. It's like it's seeping some kind of white fluid at this point. This wound just will not heal. And he can't quite figure out why. If only he had some kind of literature. Something, anything. The TV. There's no TV in this goddamn place. His back is killing him. And he looks at the gun again and leaves it back in our diner. At the map. Sure. Muldra is too far away. With what's going on in his body, he's fighting for his life. And he knows he'll never be able to make it to Muldra and be able to deal with those things. He's in so much pain. He grabs the tin of tobacco out of the cupboard. Or was it in the cupboard? Where the hell is his tobacco? He looks inside the bag, steps outside, looks all around the floor, and then checks his back pocket. Sits down. Finally, he's outside, got some fresh air. Decides to have some chewing tobacco. Maybe that'll help his stomach. It doesn't. He sits outside, enjoys the breeze. He's half delirious. Head pounding, stomach aching. He hears a gunshot off in the distance. Looks back at the trunk of the car. Hamburger patty. Hamburger. Bun salad. He eats the can of pineapples. Stifling back tears. Antidepressants. Beta blockers. Painkillers. Sleeping pills. Wash it down with water. And back on the couch. His head's spinning now. He rests for a little bit, trying to get enough exhaustion to be able to actually fall asleep. He finally nods off. He has nightmares. A fever. He's nauseous now. Did he just throw up? He's in excruciating pain. His head feels like it's about to crack open. He can barely walk. He bandages his head again, cleans it. He didn't even look at it this time, but he could smell it. He washes the bandages off. Barely able to even see. His eyes can't focus. He can barely hold up the water carton. But he's got to drink. He's got to have water. It's raining now. Yeah. We're getting to see the end of Cyril Cantu. He pops a couple of sugar cubes. Puts on his poncho, hood up, and decides to take a little walk. He pulls out the Magnum. Just in case. It's got the pitter-patter of the rain on the trees. He's doing a perimeter sweep, but he can barely walk straight. Had he lost weight? He must have. He's been sick after all, that's what happens. He'll be sure to put his pounds back on whenever he gets better. He chews the tobacco and sits down on the porch. He fades in and out, nods in and out of consciousness. Just sitting there, the Magnum on his lap. He's got a fever now, he's sure of it. He's shaking, but there's nothing he can do about it. He gets up in a panic. Oh God. He thought he heard something. He goes back into the house, closes the door. Points the gun up at the deer. It's just on the wall. He can barely stand up now. He goes and collapses on the couch. And that's when everything fades to black. And Cyril Cantu gets up again and starts wandering around the little cabin. I am gonna take that coffee break, actually. Thank you, Greed. That was fun. I usually don't actually run out the clock after I've been bitten, but, I mean, Cyril wouldn't just give up. I love how he's just standing there on top of the couch. He's not wandering or shambling or anything. He's just standing there. Got the magnum in his hand. It's almost 1 o'clock on Thursdays. That's around the time where I hop off. So this has been, I mean, I genuinely, I could not have timed this better. Cyril, my sweet baby child, Cyril. I enjoyed that entire process. I enjoyed getting like getting the character made and not designing, but like trying to figure out how I'm gonna fit this random ass farmer with these like decent skill, like theoretically decent skills, but like I don't know. I'm really glad you enjoyed it, Falgrim. I don't know like how I could have possibly made that work without it being some of the most boring streaming ever. I mean, as a farmer, like what you would basically do is you'd get your packets of seeds, you'd go out, you'd do some like prep work and things. But I think the fact that he had claustrophobia forced me to do so many things that I wouldn't have done otherwise. So I don't know. I enjoyed the modified gameplay. I genuinely love this game. If you've never played it before, I definitely recommend it. And one of the things I'd like to do is I'd like to do multiplayer project Zomboid. PvE, generally speaking. I'm not super into PvP, but I think it would be fun to have people inside the community all get together inside of a mutual server and be able to do Project Zomboid. It's super fun. But I hope I can do one of these little RP sessions maybe like once every week or so. If people seem to enjoy it, then I'll do it regularly. But for now, I just have been itching to play Project Zomboid. I've watched a bunch of the Mr. Atomic Duck videos about the new updates that have come out, and I've just been itching to play. I love all of the little flavor items they put in. There's like brochures and shit that the person who I tagged as Cyril's wife, that after we killed her, she had like a strongly worded letter or something on her. There's just so many weird little items that they've added to add like flavor into the world. I think it's so fun. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for being a part of this. For anybody who enjoyed it, I'm glad you enjoyed it. We'll see who pops out next week, and then I'll see if I can put together a video for the tubes that has kind of like a edited narration of Cyril's story. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna hop off. You guys have a lovely night, and I will see you all later.